Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest live show of all time. That is right, everybody. Today, we're doing yet another episode of Dead Channel Maxing. That's right, everybody. I'm so excited. With that being said, I hope you're all doing well today. I may or may not include timestamps in the description for the VOD watchers. We'll see. Do I do stream segments? I don't know. It depends. With that being said, hello, Suki. You're the first person in chat. Congratulations. Very impressive. Indeed. With that being said, hello to Toro, hello Randy S, hello Fixie Pixie, hello Jan P, hello Crucy, hello Omega GT. Are we eating a skin today? You better believe we are. 4 a.m.? Is it 4 a.m. for you? My condolences. What else can I say? Anyways, guys, hello 5. But yeah, double tap this smash like, everybody. Very important. It'll boost me in the algorithm. There's no logical reason not to do it. I'm just saying. But yeah, with that being said, obviously the, whatever it is, the beginning of the stream is probably the most important part. Maybe, potentially, who knows. We'll see. We'll have to see how that works. I don't even know how the algorithm works anymore. We got the black hair Femboy now. When's the chess rematch? I have no idea. I don't know. Whenever I feel like doing it, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a particularly good chess player, but I could rematch you. I don't know. I mean, hello, Mr. Boredom. It's very good to see you again. I can't stay today, but hope you get lots of donos out bottom. Well, thank you very much. Oh, you bottom. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Unfortunately, I'm not a bottom, of course. You know, I'm a big, strong toppy top, as you already know. With that being said, hello, Michael. I hope you're also doing well. Hello, Ryan. Hello, Angel HH. Hello, Lefty Memes. It's very good to see you all here. What can I say? Why are you calling me a bottom, Totoro? This makes no logical sense. Do you have any evidence to substantiate such a claim? I don't think so. With that being said, hello, Batowcrafter. Hello, Tubian saying, donos, cummy, dono... What does that even mean? What do you mean, cummy, dono? What am I listening... What does that even... Bunk is the evidence? No, bunk is not the evidence. Okay, well... Yeah, but, like, what if it's the case that I'm a switch, right? Like, it could be the case that, like, I'm a switch and you've seen one instance of me, bottoming, right? But, not everybody that bottoms, is necessarily, a bottom, on the basis of them being able to be a switch, right? It could be the case that somebody bottoms and tops. But yeah, anyways, I'm finally having sex again tonight. Congratulations, Lefty Memes, and I hope it's good. I hope you enjoy yourself. She switches from bratty to subby. Okay, alright, I see how it is. Hello, Naran, saying, what up, Femi, my dear? Hello, it's very good to see you again. You admitted it on stream. Not in a while, okay? We haven't been hitting the dono goals, so why would I admit to it? I have no reason to, you know? And as a result of that, you know, you have no reason to believe that by default I would ever admit to it, of course. If you ignore all of the many instances in which I have. You know. Switchios, yeah, exactly. You know, it could be the case that I was in a bottom state of mind, while doing that, right? Meaning that my judgment would have been impaired. Anyways, hello, Orion Cat, good to see you again.
Let's see here.
Anyways, bye, little bottomios. I am big and I am not a bottom, but yeah, goodbye, anyways. But, yeah, with that being said, she's bi bottom. What does that even mean?
What does it mean to be bi bottom?
Like a bisexual bottom? Is that what you're calling me? I personally would never be that. That would be crazy. Now, I don't know about you guys. I mean, I personally would never be a bottom. That would be crazy. Personally. But maybe you guys disagree with me. I have no idea. No idea. You would earn even more money in any other job. Minimum wage is like 16... What fucking currency is that? Euros, I assume? It's kind of small on my screen. Yeah, because you're from Germany, right? Yeah, so that'd be euros. Look, the fact of the matter is, yes, I'm aware of the fact that I would earn more money per hour, from working a normal job. But here's the thing, I don't enjoy normal jobs as much. I'd rather live life on the edge with an unstable source of income if it means I get to do what I enjoy, you know? Now, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to happen, you know? My channel could just die and then I have no career and then, oh, boo-hoo, I have to get a normal job like everybody else. That's okay. That's fine. But this is my dream job and I'd love for it to happen. Um, minimum wage is like $15 Canadian here. Is that so?
Is that so?
I'm not saying you should, just stating the facts. Well, I don't disagree with the facts, I just don't know how relevant they are to the decision-making process. Sure, I've accounted for them, but I've already done that, you know? It was actually the case that during the summer, I was making more money from live streaming per hour and per week than I would have as a lifeguard for, I want to say, $15 an hour USD. And yeah, I mean, what can I say? I bet Femi dominates Lime doing that deep voice. I sure do. I would never not be dominant, you know? That would be crazy. You know, me personally, I am the most dominant individual in the history of mankind. Put the Lime in the brat. Now, me personally, I'm not sure what that means, lefty memes. But would you care to elaborate? Hello, Lime! Very good to see you again. Anyways, people were just talking about how dominant I am compared to you.
Especially when I use the deep voice, of course. But yeah, with that being said,
Lamau, did I just walk in on Femyoz calling herself a top? You are sadly mistaken, my friend. I just am a top, okay? That's right. Correct your brat, Lime. What do you mean correct your brat? I'm not a brat, okay? I am in a toppy mood, okay? Listen to Femi's voice get so high when Lime appears in chat. Okay, let's be realistic here. It did not get that high, okay? Maybe I raise it a little bit when I get excited, and you know, that's okay. All right, we all do that, okay? That's not bottom exclusive. That is not an intrinsic property of being a bottom, you know? Femi, would you like me to leak DMs and the 120 plus times you've called me a certain name? No. Okay. Yeah, look, that's besides the point, okay? Look, aside from, okay, shut up, okay? That doesn't count. Lamau, I'm not being cute. I come into Fem talking about being a bottom, let's go. I was talking about how much of a top I am. Immediately start. Okay, look. I know it's true that I was stuttering, right? But, once again, it's going to be the case that that's not an intrinsic characteristic of being a bottom, right? There are plenty of instances in which tops have stuttered, right? So that's not like an intrinsic property of being a bottom, right? Yo, what the actual fuck? Good question, Campy. What the actual fuck indeed? Thank you for asking. Hello, forgot my name. I hope you're doing well. Let's see here. She's debate-brained tonight. You better believe I am. You know, me personally, I might get back into debate. Who knows? Maybe we'll do call-in debates on stream at some point in the future. We'll have to see. I need to unrust myself. After a week of practicing, I'll be on my A game once again. Maybe potential. Don't hold me to it, okay? We all have that bad debates, even while we're generally in our A game, right? We all don't have the best debate every single time, you know. But, you know, I love debate as a medium when you debate people that, you know, actually engage in your arguments. And that's something that I haven't had in a while. You know, people that genuinely disagree with me, that are good at arguing, that are better than me, right? That are willing to debate me consistently, potentially, right? They aren't intrinsic. It's just that they all come together to confirm to us that you're the bottomiest bottom to ever bottom. Yeah, but it could be the case that, like, if it's the case that it's not intrinsic, it is logically possible to have all of those characteristics without being a bottom, right? So, me being a bottom is not logically entailed. So that's sort of the issue with your argument. Don't bully, I'll come. Okay, no, I would not. That's not true. You're so fucking pretty. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're based as fuck, but also jump to telling people to KYS a bit too fast. Look, in Minecraft. Also, Jada Discoveries, please stop spamming. I saw your message the first time. Please don't continue to do that, alright? Hello, aspiring wannabe. I hope you're doing well. Hello, Jay the Chicken Nugget, saying you're a bottom. Okay, now this is just false information, okay? You are spreading misinformation right now. With that being said, not an MC. No, I only tell them to do it in Minecraft, okay? Go to hell. Alright, I'm gonna go to Hell, Michigan tomorrow, actually, just because of you. Hello, Lexi Animations, saying, you look amazing. What is your skin routine? So my skincare routine basically consists of me washing my face with CeraVe foaming cleanser, and then I use like this nighttime exfoliating cleanser from CeraVe every morning or after every shower, basically, which might be in the afternoon as well, I guess. And then I use like this day cream that has retinol in it. It has like sunscreen in it and shit like that. It's very good for the skin. Yeah. You would think that it's expensive for the amount you get, but like these things last for like, I don't know, like half a year or some shit. I don't know. They last a long time considering how little you would last them for. As long as you use the right amount. As long as you don't like, I don't know, do like 15 squirts of each or some stupid shit. She's already super hot, dude. Fuck off. Why, thank you. I appreciate that. Right, but you have one leading characteristic, which is that you prefer receiving and would rather only receive, which is exclusive to being a bottom. Shut the fuck up! Shut up! Shut up! Well, you can't prove it, okay? Yeah. Okay, you'd still have to... You'd still have to make the case that you're able to inductively reason that, okay? I guess you could like deductively reason it if it's the case that like actually I don't know. Would you be able to? Is there enough information to do that? Lime should debate Femi, yeah, on whether or not I'm a bottom. My girl gave me the courage to talk to a non-binary person at the bar last night that I've been dying to talk to. Congratulations, Kelly, and I'm happy for you. I hope the conversation went well. Black Lives Matter. This is true, by the way. Not sure how it's relevant to the discussion, but I agree with you. I was trans until I realized I wasn't. Well, it's gonna be the case that, either you are trans and you're in denial now, and you understood who you were before, or it's the case that you were never really trans, or you understood yourself to be trans, or you were experimenting with your gender. Whatever you may identify as, you know, I respect that, I think. Well, I mean, unless you identify as something that, minimizes utility. I don't know, if you were to, like, identify using, like, the N-word as your pronouns, I probably wouldn't respect that because, the amount of harm caused by respecting that would greatly supersede any amount of good. Anyways. Please change your hair and fix your eyebrows. What's wrong with my eyebrows? I haven't done them in a while. I might have, like, a few loose hairs. Or not loose hairs, stray hairs is what I meant to say. A few stragglers, if you will. But I'm trying to grow them back because they were a little bit small. They're too small? Yeah. Yep, that's why there's also a few stragglers, because I want to grow them back. I agree that I overplucked them. As for my hair, I don't know, I don't really see an issue with my hair. Maybe I'll change it. Sometimes my hair looks different. Sometimes I do different things with my hair. My hair might be, like, a little bit dry, but she's at least a 9. Dude, you're too generous. You're too generous. Hair is pretty. Aw, thank you. You sure love saying the N-word, don't ya? I sure do. It's my favorite word. Hair's on point. Thank you. How the fuck is Femi emo? I don't know. By what standard would I be? Your hair looks really good. Thank you. I hope you guys are being completely honest. You know, constructive criticism is always appreciated as well. You know, don't just gas me up for the sake of it, you know. That's called being a bottom, Femi. It is not. It is not. Nothing about what I do is bottomy, okay? Lol, sent you a little something. Should I check it on stream, Lime? You know what? I'm going to regardless, because it's you sending it. In which case, I have reason to believe that I care. Okay, all of what you said debunked in one screenshot. Yeah, but, like, if you ignore the evidence, then it's gonna be the case that it basically is, non-existent, right? So, yeah. What about the fact that you bottomed your plushie? Firstly, I did not. Secondly, there's no evidence, even if it happened, okay? Let's see. According to Diatom, all of the black people are leaving Earth on a spaceship. Based on what? Do you have reason to believe this? Is this a presupposition you hold? Is this like a... Do you have like a... Like, have you, inductively reasoned your way to this position? If you could leave Earth for your own planet, would you? What do you mean by that? For my own planet. Like, what would the benefits be? Could you explain it? You being a bottom is proven by you calling yourself a bottom. Yeah, but what if it's the case that I was, lying, or I was, you know, manipulated into saying it, or something? Or what if it's the case that I changed my mind, right? You wouldn't be able to, like, inductively reason that I haven't, necessarily. How do I donate? That's a really good question, Lexi Morningstar. If you're looking to donate, the Streamlabs link is in the pin message, streamlabs.com/femyoz. Any and all donations are very much appreciated. Just make sure not to include a space or any weird characters in the display name, or else it won't work. If it's the case that you're on mobile and you can't click it for whatever wacky reason, there are a couple things you could do. You could either A, type it manually. It's fairly easy to remember. Streamlabs.com/femyoz. That's streamlabs.com/femyoz. Or alternatively, you could click on my channel. The very first link in the About section of my channel is that same Streamlabs link, streamlabs.com/femyoz. Any and all donations are very much appreciated. I read them all, even if it's just $1. We've got donor rewards in the description. So for instance, if you want, you could donate $5. I'll do a Skirt Go Spinny. You could donate $10. I'll either purr into the mic or do a Skirt Go Spinny, depending on what you want. And yeah, with that being said, thank you very much, Batal Crafter, for the 5, saying cute 5th Emmy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah, donor rewards are in the description. It's all explained in detail. But yeah, chat, if you're wondering what my outfit is, this is my outfit. But yeah, thank you for the 5. There you go. You get a fit check and a Skirt Go Spinny for the 5. You know? What can I say? Cute tummy? Why, thank you. I really appreciate that. Getting manipulated into saying you're a bottom, huh? Yeah, you could be manipulated into a lot of things, right? You would agree that, like, manipulation is a mechanism through which people are, gaslit into, proclaiming that they hold positions that they don't really. Let's see. Best girl in midriff, let's go. Let's go! Let's go! Anyways, but doesn't preferring to bottom in the bedroom mean you're a bottom? Well, necessarily, not necessarily, right? Right? It could be the case that you prefer something, but that you aren't that thing in practice, right? I guess it depends on how you define or categorize the term bottom. Like, what does it mean to be a bottom? Like, is it just like a sexual preference? Like, what if it's the case that you function as a top in society, but you still have the preference for being a bottom, right? Bottoms are easily manipulated when they have a collar. Oh, wait. Shut up. That does not apply to me. Okay. It could be the case that, like, as a result of me having autism, that, like, I'm very gullible when it comes to, things that are in, like, a more social context, right? And we sort of, have, like, these social categorizations that, you know, I'd be, more prone to, not understanding by default, potentially. Why does every trans person try too hard to dress like a girl? I actually don't, Billy Boy. If I wanted to dress like a cis bitch, I would. I don't. I actually don't try to dress like a cis bitch. I dress the way I did when I was a femboy. I'm not wearing this. Like, do you think that I'm wearing this because I'm trying to be an ultra mega passoid on the basis of my clothing? No. If I wanted to dress like a cis bitch, I wouldn't be wearing thigh highs right now. But I don't dress myself on the basis of whether or not I look like a cis bitch, okay? I dress myself on the basis, and basically only the sole basis, of whether or not I like what I'm wearing, okay? If I like the aesthetic, the clothing, etc., then I wear it. But, maybe that's just me personally. You know, maybe cis women are always thinking about, like, how do I look as cisgender as possible? But that's not what I think about. I just think, well, what do I like? And then I wear that. But I don't know. Maybe that's, like, too confident for me to be a real woman. You know, only men would be confident, right? Anyways. Nice skirt, Femi. Why, thank you, just some dude. I very much appreciate that. Bottom fit. Okay, now that's just misinformation. What's a cis bitch? Yeah. So I was basically just saying, like, a woman that's, like, assigned female at birth, right? So somebody that identifies, with the gender that they were assigned at birth, who's a woman, right? I guess bitch would be, like, a term of endearment. Like, I call myself a trans bitch, right? It's like a semi-ironic term of endearment, I guess. Do you have a boyfriend? No, I do have a girlfriend. We're in an open relationship, though. I guess that's the details of our relationship. Hi, I'm a big fan. I'm so glad to hear that, Clarence. And I hope you enjoy the content. Skibidi bitch? Yeah, I am a skibidi bitch. I'm a skibidi sigma bitch in Ohio, okay? Are you a lesbian? No, I'd say I'm bisexual, with a preference towards femininity. You looking hot as fuck right now? Thank you, Spy. I very much appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. You know, I kind of agree. I like the way that I look today. You know, I don't look so bad. They added Skibidi to Fortnite, Femi? Wait, is this real? Is this real? Chat, did they add Skibidi toilet to Fortnite? Jesus loves you no matter what you think or believe. Okay, do you have any evidence of this being the case? Like, is there, like, any empirical evidence that you could point to? I'm a small fan. That's fair, that's fair. We've got small fans, big fans, casual observers, lurkers, etc. What do you miss about being a dude? I guess being able to be shirtless without judgment. I guess that's like the one thing I miss. You know, going around shirtless was kind of epic. But they did. Diorio equipped the Skibidi toilet. Of course he did. Dude, that's such a Nicholas Diorio moment. They also added CP as in Cyberpunk 2077. Okay, you had me in the first half. I was gonna be like, what the fuck? Can we get this shit banned? Can we get this company fucking obliterated? And then you clarified with the parentheses that, oh, okay, you're talking about Cyberpunk. In which case, okay. I would be fine with shirtless femme. Yeah, I don't know. Society doesn't seem to like when women are shirtless or when people that have boobs are shirtless. I don't know why. I don't know why. I was never a shirt-off person, so it wasn't a problem for me. Yeah, and that's fair. I was a shirt-off person, not because I liked to show off. I really didn't. I didn't have anything to show off. It was just, like, comfortable. It was more of, like, a comfort thing. Like, yeah, like, I like being able to comfortably walk around the house wearing pajama bottoms and nothing else, you know? Because that's what I always did, you know? But, I don't know. But it's also the case that when I look at myself in the mirror and I actually have tits, I feel better, right? It's like, there's like less of a disconnect. So, yeah. So, like, I prefer having tits. It's cold AF, no one wants to be shirtless right now. Well, yeah, right now, right? I guess I wouldn't miss that right now, but, yeah, no, for the most part, I don't really care right now. But, like, during the summertime when it's, like, hot and I just want to wear shorts and nothing else, then it's, like, it's just, like, nice to feel the air on your chest. But aside from that, like, you're a boy though, so it makes sense why you would be shirtless. Well, no. Firstly, I'm a trans woman, right? Secondly, it doesn't make sense because I have tits. Like, I'm not gonna like flash my titties. Like, that's fucking insane. And thirdly, it would make sense in the past from like a practical standpoint. Like from the standpoint of practicality, I didn't experience like additional dysphoria from taking my shirt off or anything. Like it's what I expected. It's like I know that that's like what I look like. And like I'm not like constantly looking at myself, and I know that's how people perceive me regardless. Fem, stop. I always hated being shirtless. Honestly, probably one of the 3 billion signs I missed. Yeah, that was one of the few things that really didn't apply to me. Is the fact that like I didn't really mind being shirtless. Not because I liked the way that I looked, but just because it was like just like a comfort thing, right? Like for a while, I just like had convinced myself to like not care what I looked like. I mean, I did, but like I knew that nobody was gonna perceive me differently if I was or wasn't shirtless. And like, I don't know. Anyways. Femi, don't let the woke tell you to not be shirtless. That's true, that's true. I combined two comments on accident. Oh, fair. Have you counted the number of pronouns that accurately refer to you? Yeah. Like, I'd say 2. There's like 2 of them. It's like she and they would be pretty accurate. Or I guess, like if we're talking about like gendered pronouns, unless you categorize they, them, theirs is like all separate pronouns, and like she, her, hers is separate, right? I guess it depends. But I guess if we're talking about pronoun groups that are gendered specific, right? But like the pronoun like I or like you, depending on the context, could apply to me, right? Depending on who's talking in the conversation. Or like the pronoun we could be inclusive of me. So like it really depends. 7 deadly sissies, Femyoz is 8 of... What the fuck does that even mean? No, why are you saying... Okay. Also, bottom/bottom. Those are not pronouns, first of all. Secondly, it's not something that applies to me. Don't you miss being privileged? No, not really. I mean, in some regards, yeah. Like, it was nice when people, like, I don't know, didn't make, like, immediate judgments about me that are, like, negative right off the bat. But, like, it wasn't worth it, right? I was still, like, worse off, right? So, like, at the end of the day, it's, like, a trade-off. So I guess, like, it could be the case that, like, I miss, when people didn't immediately make negative assumptions about me on the basis of my gender identity. But, so privileges were not so good after all. I'm not necessarily saying that. It's more along the lines of, like, the privileges that I, received, did not really, supersede, like, the harm caused by dysphoria, right? So, the harm caused to me by being, like, less privileged is, of a lesser magnitude than the harm caused to me, as a result of me, having dysphoria, right? So, like, at the end of the day, it's like a cost-benefit analysis that I've done, right? Like, yeah, it definitely is, like if we remove, like, any and all qualia from the matter, like, how do we maximize positive and negative qualia? Like, the path of least resistance, I guess you could say, would be to, like, not transition, right? Like, if we were to remove, if we, like, let's say I'm, like, a pea zombie, like, which is basically, I have, like, all of the characteristics of, like, a human being, but I'm, like, not conscious or sentient, right? And therefore not worth moral consideration. Then maybe you could make the argument that, like, there'd be, like, no reason to transition, but like, pea zombies don't exist in reality, right? So, yeah. Anyways. This is about the same as what my BF says, especially in a Catholic household. How old are you now? I am 20 years old. What do you think of vegans? I would say that I agree with them ethically. I can't say I'm practicing veganism myself. Femi's very debate-brained. Yeah, I mean, I was in debate servers for a while. I think that being debate-brained is beneficial. Why you look like that? Why you sound like that? Due to a multitude of factors, right? So it's gonna be like a combination of genetics, the environment that I grew up in, diet, I guess like personal preference, the extent to which I've been impacted by testosterone, the extent to which I've been impacted by estrogen, the amount of voice training I've done, etc. So there's gonna be like a lot of variables. I hate vegans. Why do you hate vegans? Like I could understand like disagreeing with them, right? But like hating them is like a bit extreme, right? Like if somebody just like decides that they don't want to eat meat or animal products, like what do you have against them? Like what is the objective or measurable harm caused? Anyways, Katerina, I know that you might be like a little bit slow, okay? You might be a little bit behind. But Trump already won the election. You don't need to say Trump 2024. He's already the president-elect. You're not really doing anything there. You're so pretty not in a weird way. Thank you, Jaden Wilson. I appreciate that. I sound like garbage because I used to chain smoke when I was 14. Yeah, that's fair. What year did you come out as trans? Last year. Or, yeah, it would be, 2023. 2020, it's almost, oh my god, I'm gonna be saying 2 years ago. 2023 is gonna be 2 years ago very soon. I just had that realization. Jesus Christ. Not that I didn't realize it before, not that I was unaware of it, but it's like, you know. Also pretty hair, Femi, thank you. Beautiful lady, I very much appreciate that, Tracy. There's human rights that we should focus on. It's silly to even say. To say what? Like, do you think that human rights and animal rights are mutually exclusive? Like, how are they at odds with one another? Or maybe it's health signaling, virtue signaling, coded protest for other issues? No, not necessarily, right? Like, you can have multiple positions at once, right? Like you can advocate in favor of trans rights and animal rights at the same time. Like, those aren't mutually exclusive. So, yeah. What do you think of Therians? I have no issue with them. They cause no objective or measurable harm, so I support their right to exist and have no problems with them. Anyways. I think we should stop abusing humans first before we focus on beasts. Yeah, but you could do both at the same time. Like, could you explain how, I don't know, like, going vegan would, like, prevent you from also decreasing the abuse of humans? Like, how are those at odds with one another? I'm so confused. Like, you're acting like it's a zero-sum game. Well, I'm oppressed. Okay. Do you think that you're going to become more oppressed? Or, you're less likely to become less oppressed if people also advocate in favor of animal rights? Could you explain, like, how your logic is logicking? DGG for me personally, I'm not a DGGer. I don't support any political streamer except for me, the semi-political streamer. I mean, I am political to an extent, but also, I mean, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like very black-pilled when it comes to political streamers. Like, I used to be a fucking VGGer, okay? I used to support Vosh. Then he had his taxes folder come out, and I'm like, yeah, fuck this guy. This guy sucks. He's dishonest. He's a fucking freak. And then, you know, there's all the stuff that came out about Destiny and Lauren Southern, and it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about that one, Chief. Hassan is known for being dishonest. It's like his middle name is dishonesty. He somehow managed to lose a debate to Willie Mac Show, who is a literal commentary YouTuber. Like, it's actually impressive. Like, you are somebody that streams politics for 8 hours a day, and you lose a political debate to a commentary YouTuber that criticized you for obvious inconsistencies in the things that you were saying and how they are inconsistent with yourself and or reality. Do you believe in God? I do not. Yeah, animal rights is cool and all, but a nice ribeye. Well, yeah, and that's like a separate discussion. I'm not gonna get too much into the veganism debate. The main issue I had was the person saying that they hate vegans. Like, you hate them. You hate them because they're choosing to not eat meat. Like, how does that infringe upon your rights at all? Like, it doesn't. It's like, it just doesn't logically follow at all. Like, I could just, like, directly refute it in, like, a second, which I did. Why don't you believe in God? Due to a lack of sufficient evidence. Anyways. Let's see here. How many kids do you want? 0. I don't intend on having kids. Are you ever gonna change the stream name? Maybe. I don't know, if I feel like it. Prove your hairline. You could just, like, I don't know, go to one of the streams where I'm, like, you know, streaming where my hair's in a ponytail. You could just, like, easily find that. Like, you just literally just scroll through the VODs and just find which one. You know, I'm not gonna mess up my hair, though. Why is your stream names repetitive? Because generally, if it's, a just chatting stream, I don't necessarily know how that's gonna go. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to be weird, but what's your sexuality? I am bisexual, but with a strong preference towards femininity. The evidence is all around us, I'd argue. I don't believe in a Christian God, but I think that there is a source out there beyond our understanding. I mean, there could be. I'm not like I don't know, directly opposed to that specifically, but I'm not in favor of it either, right? I take an agnostic atheist approach, meaning that I outright reject the notion that any religion that's been depicted by humans is like an accurate representation of reality and something that we ought to abide by, right? I think that the answer is we don't know, right? There could be a God, there could not be, but I think that anything that goes beyond I don't know is a bit of a leap in logic. Okay, I fuck with that opinion, yeah. Like, I'm not necessarily saying that there definitively is no God and that it is logically impossible for there to be a creator, right? You don't look like a girl. Stop. How do you have a girl voice? Voice training, obviously. I'm glad you at least acknowledge that, like, my voice passes, because I've been doing voice training for a while, so, like, I can sort of alternate between the two, which I think is, like, really cool as, like, a skill to be able to, you know, have. Like, okay, even if you're anti-trans, you have to acknowledge it's the case that, like, me being able to alternate between two different voices is, like, an objectively cool skill to have. Like, you can't disagree with that. Even if you're, like, the most anti-trans motherfucker on the face of the earth, you have to at least acknowledge that it's pretty fucking cool that I can do this without using a voice changer, right? Anyways, did you see Brianna Wu got humiliated by JK Rowling on Twitter? She's still trying to play pick me trans. Oh, pick me true trans. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Cool as fuck, not gonna lie. Hell yeah. It's a cool skill. Fuck yeah. I am jealous. Let's go. You're funny. I better be hilarious. What body part do you got down there? Like down where? Like, do you mean like below the camera? So I've got like, multiple body parts, not just one. So like if you look, here I've got like a waist, I've got hips, I've got thighs, knees, I've got like legs, just broadly, I guess you could categorize it as. I've got feet, I specifically have toes. Like we could go over like each individual toe that I have, but, no, I think that, but I think you get the point. So, yeah, it's not like a single body part, like beneath the camera, like if you're talking about like down there, like, we're gonna be talking about multiple body parts. I can't list them all off, in like a timely manner, so I only did some of them. OMG, WTF did I scroll into? The greatest live show of all time, Tessa. Welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. What are you doing for the holidays? I'm gonna be live streaming in front of you guys, like I'm doing right now. Except for Christmas. I might not on Christmas. We'll see. I kind of want to do it like at least like an hour-long stream for the people that like, I don't know, aren't like, that are like alone for Christmas because, you know, why not? I mean, I don't know. I think it's a nice thing to do. It probably won't get that many views. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. Penis or vagina? Both of you do assume I don't have both. Or neither. You know? It could be the case that, like, I've gotten, like, a noloplasty, which would mean that I have neither. It could be the case that I was, like, born with both, like, and that I have, like, some sort of a rare intersex condition. In which case, your question would be, like, completely, destroyed. Anyways. Want to play our rematch in chess? It's totally good content, trust me. I can assure you that it's not good content. I'm not a chess YouTuber. Why would I play chess on stream? Unless we were, like, I don't know, getting less concurrence, in which case, who cares? It wouldn't matter. But, you know, I got an audience to entertain. I gotta engage with people. Anyways. What's your thoughts on queer kids? I think that they exist. Like, that's just, like, an irrefutable fact of the world, definitionally. Aren't you excited for Trump's future plans? Oh, you mean like his future plans of like replacing everybody in the executive branch with loyalists, as well as him intending on centralizing as much power as humanly possible to himself, and like abolishing the Department of Education for no reason? No, I can't say that I'm particularly excited about that. You know, maybe you hate America, maybe you hate the Constitution, in which case, of course, you're gonna be excited, but I don't hate the Constitution personally, and I don't hate my own country, so I have nothing to be excited about. Anyways. Shut up, loser. Incredible counter-argument. She's been hoarding genitals she stole from cis people while they weren't looking. This is true, by the way. OMG, Femyoz has a whole 155 viewers. This is true, by the way. Anyways. Thoughts on healthcare? I think that healthcare ought to be universal. That's my belief. I actually don't think that it should be heavily gatekept behind like an arbitrarily defined paywall contingent upon what makes healthcare companies the most the most money, right? I don't think that whether or not you have a right to healthcare should be contingent upon how much money you have in your wallet. I think that's absurd. Anyways. Who did you vote for? I don't judge, I promise. Yeah, I voted for Kamala Harris. That's like a very publicly known fact. So yeah, no worries. Feel free to ask me political questions if you want. Free Luigi, I agree. I agree. Are you wearing a kilt or a skirt? Depends on how you interpret it culturally. You know, it depends on how we categorize it, you know. If we want to categorize it as something manly, then it's a kilt. If we want to categorize it as something feminine, then it's a skirt. How long have you done voice training? You passed really well. Why, thank you. I guess in terms of me actively voice training, I don't know. I did it for like a couple months. In terms of passive voice training, I've been at it for like, I don't know. Maybe like almost a year now? I don't know, like closer to a year than half a year, I think. Like maybe like 9 months. Do you think abortion is right for SA victims? Yeah, absolutely. Of course I do. Did you get your penis chopped off? I can't say that I did. When are you gonna get the electrical collar? Okay, no, we're not doing. Okay. Anyways, if you date a female, would it be considered lesbian? Yes. Yes, because that would be a woman and a woman, right? So, based on how I categorize, at least, yeah, I would fit into that definition, right? I guess you could like argue into like the nuances of what sexuality is and what it means, and argue about the Kinsey scale. In which case, you could have like a more precise definition. But I think that colloquially, I would refer to that as like a lesbian relationship if it's a woman and a woman, right? You need one Lyman bunk can use remotely. Okay, I see how it is. Of course you think. Okay. Trump is not going to become a dictator. Y'all are being programmed. Hold on. Was my claim that he's going to become a literal dictator, or was my claim that he's going to, do things that, centralize power, right? And, that give him, too much authority, right? There's going to be like somewhere between, like the correct amount of authority, and a dictatorship that's, too much authority, right? But not like a dictatorship. Right? Like you could argue that somebody has too much power without them being a dictator, right? Like you would agree with that? Like, you would have to, logically, right? You're so underrated. Like, I've never seen a streamer funnier than you. Why, thank you, Emily Cole. And it makes me happy to see comments like that. Trump isn't going to be a dictator, but Elon will since Elon controls Trump. Daily reminder that Elon Musk is a PDF file. You know, that wouldn't surprise me. Authoritarian. Yeah, I will argue that Trump is very authoritarian, right? Not every authoritarian is a dictator, right? But I still think that authoritarianism is bad colloquially, right? Regardless of whether or not it leads to them being an actual dictator, I would still argue that authoritarianism and authoritarian policy is bad, right? It leads to harmful outcomes. Were your parents mad that you became trans? No, they were actually quite supportive, or at the very least indifferent. I guess they just like didn't care. They were like, okay, you know, if that's what you want to do, go for it. Like they had like a few concerns at first. They had some questions for me, but because I did a lot of research and already had all of the answers to the questions that I knew they would ask, it wasn't really an issue. Trump as a fascist, I would agree. Right? Because that just refers to like a hyper-nationalistic authoritarian, right? Hyper-nationalistic, I mean, if we look at like his immigration policy, combined with the fact that like he wants to criminalize burning the American flag. He wants that to be criminal, even though if it's your own American flag, it would literally be free speech, right? If you're burning it safely on your own private property, there's literally no issue. But Trump wants to ban that specifically because it's the American flag, right? That'd be like hyper-nationalism. And then authoritarianism, I think I already explained how he intends on centralizing as much power as humanly possible to himself and replacing everybody in the executive branch with loyalists. This isn't just like speculation. This is stuff that he's written down in Agenda 47. You could just look up Agenda 47, read the Wikipedia article on it. It goes into depth about that. It also explains some similarities between that and Project 2025. Let's see here. What do you think of oligarchy? I think it's bad. I don't think it leads to optimal outcomes. Let's see here. Did you keep your balls? No, but you repeated the question 4 times, so you can keep this 24-hour timeout. That is not true. You're freaking out for nothing. That would be a great counter argument. Except for the fact that Agenda 47 is literally something that exists, right? Like this is like a real thing. Right? You can just like search Agenda 47. You can read about this. Like this is Donald Trump's 2024 presidential campaign for formal policy plans. It goes into detail about this. Dude, why is it like asking me to donate? Please go away. So like it goes into like his policies, right? All of the things that I've said are in here. So it's like categorized. So increasing police personnel, increasing their liability protection. So basically protecting the police who already have a disproportionate amount of power. So yeah, protecting people in power. Let's see. National security. Social issues. Bad traits. So yeah. Form states that if anybody suggests that child that they could be transgender, that they will face civil rights violations for sex discrimination, which is absurd. Like saying that something is possible when it's possible is not a civil rights violation. But hold on, where did they go? I mean, you can read all of this. Expansion of presidential powers. Oh, here's what I was talking about. Trump's plan to expand presidential powers is based largely on a controversial and not widely held interpretation of the Constitution known as unitary executive theory, including dismantling the deep state and reclaiming our democracy from Washington power by firing government employees, reissuing Executive Order 13957, Schedule F, restoring the president's authority to fire rogue bureaucrats, so increasing the president's authority. Okay. Taking action against government leaders. Let's see. As you are faced with the strong negative anti-federal worker, uncertainty what will happen to your job. Cutting federal regulations. So just like expanding federal power, right? Let's see. That's expenditure, right? So like this is like these. It's all listed here. Like I'm not gonna go through the entire thing, but like this is all listed. And you can go through it on your own time. Just search Agenda 47. But it's like a lot of it is a government overreach, right? So like the examples I gave you are clear instances of government overreach, right? Which I would argue is like a form of authoritarianism, right? Is government overreach. Low-key, you're good short streamers. The others suck ass. True. Thank you. I agree, Tessa. I agree. Yeah, most short streamers do not know what they're doing, and that's okay. That's okay. They're not like trying to go professional like me. I want to be a professional streamer. Femi, a real one? Why, thank you. What happens, you know. The next 4 years will be interesting. Yeah. Interesting in probably the worst way possible. I'm not gonna lie. You shouldn't shit on someone's beliefs, buddy. Who, me? I think it's good to shit on beliefs that are wrong, right? So if somebody is like a flat earther, or transphobic, I'm gonna shit on them because they're like wrong, you know? Like if they argue in good faith, then sure, I'll argue in good faith as well, but, generally that's not the case, right? It's kind of difficult to argue like a position that fucking atrocious in good faith. Oh, you were talking about Paul. To be trans is to be against yourself? Yeah, that's a fucking stupid argument. Like what? What did Paul say that you disagree with? What? I'm so confused. Wait, Paul's being a piece of crap. Wait, what did Paul say? I'm confused. I don't know what Paul said. I'm scrolling up and I don't see anything that I take an issue with. He's dissing on my religion. Yeah, you could like disagree with him and make a counter argument. Right? You could just like I don't know, refute the points that he's making. The stream is trash. Why is it trash, Megan? Do you have like a reason to believe that? Like is this something that you've inductively reasoned? Is it like on the basis of like certain criteria? Like what are your criteria for like a good stream? Like how do you determine whether a stream is good or not? Megan is right. The answer extends to you as well. Okay? The question extends to you. All right? You can also provide an answer. Like what determines whether or not a stream is good? Lamau, you're a dumbass? Okay, so like whether or not a stream is good is like contingent upon like whether or not I'm a dumbass. Is that your argument? Because like I would argue the contrary, right? Like you could be like a really stupid person But you could also be very entertaining, right? Like it's not going to be the case that like whether or not you have a high IQ determines the extent to which you are entertaining, right? Like there are plenty of college professors, for instance, that are like super fucking smart, but they're also really boring, right? And there might be people that are like super entertaining that are not the most intelligent, right? You're not entertaining. Okay, based on what criteria, right? Like, is this like your own personal subjective determination? In which case, nobody and everybody would be entertaining at the same time. That's like a content creator that has like at least one person that likes or dislikes them, right? Or is this like, or do you have like an objective metric? Get a real job. Yeah, so that doesn't really address the point that I made or the question that I asked you. I think your political views are all wrong. Okay, which one is wrong? What's like the most wrong one? But you're young and you have much to learn. That is true. I have much to learn. And I like that. Oh, sorry. And I like that you're actually trying, at least, unlike many other Americans. Yeah, that's fair. But you are very entertaining. Thank you, Ezra. I very much appreciate that. Do you think Trump will ban HRT for adults too? It's possible. We'll have to see. It could be the case that like my guess is that it's going to be, there's going to be some red states where it's banned for adults as well. I'm not sure about blue states. I think that, because at that point it would be like a conflict between, what the state government decides with its protections versus what a federal government decides. So I'm not sure how that would play out. It's difficult to say. Opinion on abortion rights, yeah, I think that it is a right, on the basis of it maximizing utility, at least within the first, I want to say 30 to 35 weeks. How long before a fetus becomes sentient? Let's see. So in terms of, I guess consciousness, begins to take place within the 24th and 28th week of gestation, right? So let's say 24 weeks, okay? So within the first 24 weeks, it is definitively the case that a fetus is not sentient, right? So based on what standard do they have moral consideration? Well, they would, right? There's no logical reason to believe that's the case. So it's going to be the case that like if you say, for instance, what's a good way of putting it? If you have a human being, okay, that's like fully conscious and sentient, right? And against her will, she is forced to carry on with a pregnancy, right? Even though you are merely defending a non-sentient life form. I would argue that that's a net harm, because there's only one sentient individual in that case, right? One conscious individual that is being harmed, right? There's not like like another conscious individual that would be harmed by an abortion, right? And there's a conscious individual that would be that's life would be improved upon, right? So I'd argue that that's like a net good, right? Abortion is not completely wrong. Just make a law that states an abortion can't be done after it is conscious. I'm not sure how, well, I'm not sure how I'd feel about that either. I don't know, like, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to that, but, like, consciousness is also a spectrum, right? So it's gonna be the case that, like, how conscious are they, determines, like, to what level do they, warrant moral consideration, right? Like, you could argue that, like, a rat, experiences, some level of consciousness, right? Like, it's not entirely non-sentient, right? But, it doesn't experience very much, right? And we've deemed it, socially acceptable to, kill them with rat traps, right? Because the life of a rat is gonna be kind of shitty, right? They don't experience much qualia, right? Bitch are comparing a rat to a fetus. Yeah, it's gonna be the case that the rat would actually warrant more moral consideration than a clump of cells. Yeah, I would actually agree with that. Right? Humans are not rats. Well, if you were able to follow along in the conversation, you would know that I never said that humans are rats. you would know that I was making a comparison, right? I'm talking about the extent to which something is sentient and how we use that to determine moral consideration. Unless you have like something else that you would like to invoke as your moral standard. Like, what do you use to determine whether or not something warrants moral consideration? You are a clump of cells. I am a clump of cells. Do you believe that we're like only a clump of cells? Like we don't experience qualia? A rat would be would warrant more moral consideration than a transphobe. That's true. Anyways. We are all just walking sperm. Like it's gonna be the case that like the fact that two people consent to the act would produce that would produce human life, you dumbass. No, not necessarily, right? Like I don't see how the outcome is any different, right? So if it's the case that say for instance you have scenario A, in which there are two people that have sex and then one person gets pregnant, okay? And then they get an abortion, right? Before the fetus is sentient, okay? Meaning that no harm is done, right? No sentient being is harmed, right? Versus them choosing not to have sex. What is the difference in outcome? Like, can you explain how there's like a difference in outcome? Or is it the same outcome? Because I would argue it's the same outcome, right? Like there's no distinction other than like maybe they have to like spend a little bit of money to get an abortion. So that would be like the only difference, right? But I think it's like a justifiable thing to do, right? But yeah, anyways. Do you like cats? I do like cats. I think cats are awesome. That is a very utilitarian view. Well, I am a utilitarian after all. An act utilitarian to be specific. But yeah. Would you rather smash Mario or Luigi? Probably Luigi, in my own humble opinion. Why are you angry? I'm angry? Can you explain how I'm angry? Is it because I say things in like a commanding voice? Is it because I say things confidently? You're a fucking retard, not a utilitarian. Okay. Can you explain how I'm not a utilitarian? Like, what part of my worldview necessarily entails that I'm not a utilitarian? Would you like to explain that one? Or do you like not have an argument? Because like I could go into like the specifics. Like if you want to be specific, I'm a hedonic act utilitarian. Femi always chill, as the stream title suggests. True. You're retarded. That's my explanation. Yeah. So it's not really an argument. You're just like a. This is what I like to call the ad hominem fallacy. Okay. Now it's okay to insult people while making an argument. Okay. I do it all the time. But as a result of you being well fucking retarded, you think that in of itself is an argument. So, but I'm just asking you to engage in substance, rather than just saying you're retarded and not making an argument. Aren't you more hedonistic? Yeah. I'm a hedonic act utilitarian. That's my ethical framework. I don't know how somebody could disagree with that, right? Like, not necessarily, like, I could understand how somebody would disagree with the ethical framework itself, but I don't understand how somebody could disagree with me in terms of whether or not that's my ethical framework. Like, it is my ethical framework. That is what I believe. Now, maybe you could find something that I have said that contradicts that, in which case, I'd like to know, because then I could, either defend the whatever it was that I said that, would intuitively, or seemingly contradict it, and maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, right? Or I revise what I said, or say, well, actually I disagree with what I said, or I revise my position. Do you even know what the fuck you're talking about? Yeah, to an extent, right? Like I don't know everything, right? Like there are gonna be like certain things that I learn along the way, right? So like there are gonna be people that know more stuff than me. Like I don't have like a formal education in philosophy, but like the most I've done is take a business ethics class, but I've taught myself some stuff, and I've learned some stuff from talking to other people about philosophy shit, people that are more knowledgeable than me, and that's one of the fastest ways to improve your analytical abilities. But yeah. What other languages do you speak besides Japanese? Okay, so I also speak English, I speak gibberish, I speak Spanish, so that's 4 languages. It's pretty impressive. Anyways, how many 50-year-old unemployed homophobe losers are here, dude? I have no idea, the Meowser. I have no idea. Take the choker off? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Who's you in bondage? Okay, all right. Is that? What if it's just an aesthetic decision? Okay. You don't know who owns me, if they do, hypothetically. Got 2 degrees. I know what I'm talking about. Okay. Well, why don't you show that instead of just saying that, right? I could just blankly assert, oh yeah, I have like 4 degrees actually. Like I'd have just said that, right? But that would have been like be an argument. It's not like anything that has any real substance. So if you have a degree, then surely you'd have no issue actually engaging in the substance of the argument, right? Like you'd be able to just like engage, right? Like that's something you should be able to do. Or is it the case that you can't engage? Political science and history? Okay. So can you explain then? Because you said that I'm not a utilitarian. Can you explain why you think I'm not a utilitarian? Because you've yet to do so, right? Like if you if you're so knowledgeable in these subjects, right? Then surely you'd be able to have this discussion, right? Anyways. Dude, why is Diaper Yost back in chat? Jesus Christ. Well, you speak out of your ass? Okay, can you give me an example of me speaking out of my ass and why you have an issue with it? Like, what have I said that's wrong? Like, you literally said that I'm not a utilitarian. Can you explain what I said that is in, like a contradiction of a utilitarian framework? Like, you've yet to do so, okay? Like, I'm waiting. Like, this is really easy. Like, if it's the case that I'm not a utilitarian, right, and you have reason to believe that I'm not a utilitarian, okay? That you explain what I have said that has given you a reason to believe that, right? Like, if it's the case that you conclude that somebody who says that they're not a utilitarian isn't actually a utilitarian, right? You'd have to use inductive reasoning. So how did you inductively reason that? Chill stream? Hell yeah. Have you gone through voice training? Your voice is so pretty. Thank you, and yes, I have. Oh, damn, he's gotten real quiet. Where did he go? Where did he go? Uh-oh. Boring topic. Let's talk about Saudi. Let's not. How come you're so defensive about being a utilitarian? I wouldn't say I'm defensive. It's more along the lines of, I just think that he's fucking retarded, right? He's failed to make, like, a single, compelling argument. Like, it's like, he's gonna make a claim. He has to substantiate it, right? Like, I don't know why you would make a claim, and then, like, just expect me to, like, automatically agree with it if you have no evidence. You compared fetuses to rats? Yeah, so if it's the case that a fetus, experiences less sentience than a rat, then yes, by a hedonic utilitarian framework, by a hedonic act utilitarian ethical framework, yes, it would be the case that that rat that experiences more qualia than the fetus warrants more moral consideration. Yes, that is. How does that contradict a utilitarian worldview? Can you explain to me how that contradicts a hedonic act utilitarian worldview? Please, I'll wait. And if it's the case that you can't find a contradiction, then you have no reason. You have no inductive reasoning behind your argument. You're just saying things. You're just saying I'm not a utilitarian because you disagree with me. Are you a utilitarian? Anyways. Thoughts on Christianity? I don't believe that there's any reason to believe in Christianity. That's my position. Anyways. Gotta go eat dinner. Be back soon. Because it's about consequences? Yeah. I agree it's about consequences. Yeah, I'm a consequentialist. I'm well aware. Right? I believe that the consequences of harming a sentient life form are worse than the consequences of harming a non-sentient life form. That's what I believe. Right? Just like, at least, at the very least in a vacuum. Right? You would have to concede that in a vacuum scenario. Right? Now you could maybe maybe you could argue that like as an instrumental value, you could like make an argument about like even if you were to say like well, you see that the fetus will have like more instrumental value rather than terminal value, right? From like whereas like people that are sentient on the basis of their sentience could have like terminal value if you want to make a moral realist argument, right? Maybe you could make that argument, right? In which case like you could go down that route, but like to simply say that like even then you wouldn't argue that the fetus has more moral consideration, right? The moral consideration would be of society at large, right? I'm fucking pro-choice and you're still a dumbass? Okay. Yes, so when you decide to have sex, you take that risk of having a child? Not if you get an abortion. Like, if you take all the proper precautions and get an abortion, if you don't want the child, then there's not really a risk of that, right? Unless it's the case that your access to abortion is restricted. So where's the disagreement? Like, how do you disagree with me? Like, what have I said that you disagree with? Like I already explained how according to a hedonic act utilitarian framework, which you have not contested at all, that it's going to be the case that a non-sentient fetus would warrant less moral consideration than a rat that experiences like a small level of sentience. Now, it's also going to be the case that like sentience slash consciousness is like a spectrum. Anyways. It's funny, conservatives are usually about no government. No, that's a lie. They're not. But when it comes to abortion, they want government in everyone's lives. Let's be real. They LARP about how they're against government, but in reality, they want freedom for me, but not for thee. That's their mentality, right? So they're not actually in favor of freedom. They just want to be free to live the way that they want to, but for other people to be restricted from living their own lives, right? It's like an obvious contradiction in their worldview. Being autistic and ranting about politics is so real. I feel like autistics have a 5 times greater level of interest in it than the regular population. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, same for free speech, exactly. It's like, oh, okay, you claim to care about free speech, and then Elon Musk censors all the people that criticize him. So, like, the opposite of free speech. I'm a conservative, I'm against government, don't lock me in with those neocons. Yeah, I mean, generally, it's gonna be the case that, like, I would argue that, like, it's not just neocons. We're talking about conservatives broadly. I'm not saying that you, personally, as a conservative, I'm not saying that every single conservative is lying about their position. Like, it could be the case that you have, like, an internally consistent position there, but, usually it's the case that when a conservative, says that they're in favor of small government, they're kind of just bullshitting, or they don't really realize what they're saying. Or it's like, small government for me, but not for thee, right? YouTube politics is a wonderful way to get upset, but whoa, it's fun to watch. You better believe it is. This is truly academia. I assume is what you meant. You said academy, but I assume you meant academia. True. I am academia. I am the institutions. Can we talk about God here? Yeah, I don't think that there's any reason to believe that there's a God, right? Hi, Femyoz, do you remember me? No. Who is this Parfayette individual? No clue, honestly. Anyways. We talk about God way too much. Yeah, I don't know. If people are interested in having that conversation, then, fair. But if this bitch is academia, it was a joke. We're all fucked. I didn't say I was academia, right? But, you seem to, like, not be able to engage in, like, any more arguments, but, Cadell Lasto, however the fuck you pronounce your name, you're more than welcome to debate me. Like, you could add me on Discord, if you're open to it. Get in the VC. We'll have a debate. If you can defend your positions, in chat, then surely you'll be able to defend them in a VC. Yeah. Cadell Lasto, however you say your name. What's your Discord username? And I'll add you, and then you add me back, right? It'll be obvious that it's me because it's my YouTube username with my profile picture. And, yeah. I would love to debate as well. We could do that in a bit, maybe. Anyways. But yeah. It won't be like a super long debate, It could just be like a few minutes. I don't have Discord. Make one. Anyways. Can we debate? We could debate on why you're such a cutie. Maybe after stream. I don't know. That's not a debate. What's your hear me out? What do you mean by that? What do you mean? What's my hear me out? I fail to see the point of being against abortion when the quote champions of that point of view hardly bring up any facts and circle around arbitrary potentialism. Yeah. I mean, there are like a few good pro-life debaters, but they're just like good at debating like any position. So it's like, yeah, it makes sense that they'd be good at that one as well. Anyways, real though, if you need the threat of punishment to be a good person, maybe you want a good person. It depends on how you categorize, but a good person, right? So like from a purely consequentialist standpoint, I might argue that if somebody produces like a net good, maybe you could like make the argument that they're like a good person from like the standpoint of like a net good utility, even if it's for logically fallacious reasons. But do you think any political streamers are good? Kind of. Generally ones that are smaller. I think that Sam Cedar is good, but I don't know if I'd call him a political streamer. Like, if we're talking about like individual political streamers, I think that Synth is pretty good. Bunk is pretty good. It's like if you search Synth, right? She doesn't stream very often, but when she does, it's usually a fucking banger. All right. She also shows up on a lot of debates, so Synth is a good one. Another good one is Bunk. So if you search Bunk Politics, okay, you'll see that this is the first one that shows up. It's this one with this cool profile picture. They're really good as well. So if you just search Bunk Politics, one word, they're like good. They might come back at some point. Yeah. So that would be like those would be examples of streamers. If you're like interested in, oh, never mind. I think I don't know if Akano Boy does streams, but he does videos. I don't watch that as much because I'm not as interested in economics, but I've seen a few of his videos and I think they're pretty good. But yeah, there's like quite a few people that are pretty decent. It's just generally people that are underrated. Like the big three that hate each other, like Vosh, Destiny, Hassan. I don't like any of those people. I think that Hunter Avalon is like good as like a starting point, maybe. I don't agree with all of his positions, but he's not a bad streamer. But yeah. Yeah, Kyle Klinsky, he's good. Sam Cedar from the Majority Report is good. What about moral absolutes as being evidence for God? Wait, how is... Hold on, wait, slow down. Can you explain... Chud Logic's not a good streamer, I'm sorry. Chud Logic is one of the most overrated streamers. He's like, he's actually fucking terrible at streaming. Like, he has like a shit ton of dead air. He's boring. He's ugly. I don't know. Anyways. Like, when you say moral absolute, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Just so we're clear on the terminology. How does that, logically, conclude that, like, how do you, derive the conclusion of God from that, basically? Do you believe the world was accidentally created? It could be. I don't have, like, a strong stance one way or another, right? I believe it's the case that either, could have a creator or not a creator, right? That doesn't really argue in favor of any specific religion, right? You could make that argument in favor of deism, right? Just deism. Right? So, it's not really gonna get you anywhere, right? You and Chud are both balding. That's a good gag, my friend, but we're not both balding. This is my hairline. You have to... I know that you know that Chud's hairline is, like, fucked, though. You know, HRT could save him. But yeah. I'll give him credit where credit is due. He does stream for, like, long periods of time. He streams more than I ever could, I think. Like, if you go to the playlist section... Does he have, like, the VODs here? I actually don't know. Yeah, live streams, like 300 of them. Like, I will say, like, 9 hours, 9 hours, 7 hours, almost 9 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours, 7 hours, 8 and a half, sorry. Almost 9, 8, almost 9.5. Like, yeah, that's like, and it's like daily, almost. Not daily, but like, it's a lot of days. That's like a lot of hours per week. So I will give him credit where credit is due. Yeah, ew, Chud Logic. That's like the one thing that he does well is being consistent with how frequently he streams. Also, thank you for 100 likes, everybody. Feel free to continue to double tap your screens, of course, to boost me in the algorithm. Anyways, do you think time has a beginning or is it eternal? I don't know. I don't have the answer. Like I haven't really seen enough evidence to conclude one way or another. Bambaz, do you agree that the Jews created the planet and Yakub invented the human? That is true, actually. What is your opinions on the master debater known as Penis Gobbler Jr. XCMXXVII? I think that he's the greatest debater of all time. I think that he belongs in the undisputed tier of debaters on the tier list. And that's what I think. I'm so confused what's going on. Welcome to the greatest live show of all time, Mysterious. It's very good to see you. Imagine someone just going on HRT to stop a receding hairline. I mean, that is something that cis men do. Though they don't go on HRT the same way that trans women do. It's more like a, I don't know, something that HRT that won't give you tits type of thing. I believe that the great spaghetti monster created the world with his pastas of power. This is true, by the way. Nobody knows what happened before the Big Bang. This is true. There's no empirical evidence to suggest anything, right? And there's not really a way to, as far as I'm concerned, like you could try to deductively reason one way or another, I think, but, actually, I don't think you could. I don't think that it would, I don't know. I've heard of, why do you have to put chill with a trans person? It's your title. Aren't we all human? We are all human, but if I put, chill human stream, it would do worse in the algorithm. Because I do talk about trans issues, right? The reason it's a selling point for me is because I talk about trans issues a lot, right? So it's like if a trans person is talking about them, then it's like, it's more interesting, right? Like, I'm not saying that's the way it ought to be. That's just, like, sort of the way it is, descriptively. Not the way it ought to be, prescriptively. I think that I should get a ton of views no matter what. I think that the algorithm should just prioritize me no matter what. So that I get $1 million. But anyways. There's evidence of the Big Bang, but it would be impossible for evidence of what happened before to exist. Oh, absolutely, right? Like I've heard like both sides of the argument briefly. I guess to summarize, like the argument in favor of theism is basically that it is logically impossible for there to be like an uncaused like something that like is uncaused, like something like an uncaused cause or whatever. Right? So in order for the basically, I guess you would deductively reason that there must be a creator, right? The issue with that is, in order for a creator to, be able to exist and at any point in time, create a universe, right? You would have to presuppose that time exists independent of the universe, in which case is time something that exists independent of the universe, right? So I guess, I don't know, you'd have to I'm not sure what other religion. I know in Christianity it's like a logical contradiction, right? Because there was like appointed time, that God created everything, right? That would include time itself, right? In which case, like when did he? When did he create time? Right? It doesn't make any logical sense. Or it's the case that he didn't create time, in which case, time always existed, and therefore he didn't create everything, right? But I'm not sure what the case is for Islam. I'd have to do more research. But yeah. God is outside of time. Yeah. But like, when was the universe created, right? When was it created? Let's do some fun topics. This philosophical discussion feels like obligatory school. It is not it's fun. It's fun to think about things, okay? You're not going to be tested on it. Like, I'm sorry. To be honest, I don't really care why or how the universe exists. I just hate the fact that it does. You know, that's also a fair take. Can we debate Skibidi toilet? Yeah, sure. What's your debate proposition? Femyoz, you're a bot. This is false information. This is fake news. Anyways. The bottom trinity was here yesterday. Diaper-yos, bottom-yos, and fem-bottom. Okay. Well, those people are not me, so whoever made those accounts is a bottom, okay? Anyways. All people should be mandated to watch Skibidi Toilet daily. See, I disagree with you. I think that it, the mandate should be hourly. So I would argue that, if it's the case that, you're like a Skibidi utilitarian, right? Meaning that your utility function, is, Skibidi Toilet, and the extent to which people consume that type of content, then it's going to be the case that, in order to maximize that, that you're going to want to do that as much as possible, right? You're going to want people to think about Skibidi Toilet, so even if it's the case that they're not constantly watching it, right? There's going to be, a small enough amount of time where they could still think about it, have their own, interpretations of it, and interpret the content while also, constantly thinking about it because, you know, their next, Skibidi Toilet watching session is right around the hour, right? Skibidi Toilet must be minutely, actually, because the episodes are, 30 seconds long. So I disagree with that. You'd watch them in bulk, right? You'd watch more than one episode at a time, right? You'd watch, some number of minutes. So it could be, mandated that it's, you watch, 20 or 30 minutes at a time, and then you get, a 30-minute break to interpret the content, and think about it, right? And we're gonna have, brain scanner things that make sure you're constantly thinking about Skibidi Toilet and interpreting it. And, yeah. Good point, I concede. See, I won the debate. Regardless of both sides of the arguments are in search of truth. However, I do believe God exists because of nature itself and how the world functions off of one another. That isn't an accident. Well, it could be, right? We don't know. We don't know what mechanisms created the universe, right? Now, it seems to be the case that in terms of life in of itself, it seems like life evolved to fit into the confines of the world in the universe rather than the reverse, right? We were created and evolved in the context of we were created from evolution. Well, how did evolution create us? Well, from genetic mutations, right? So at some point, something, right, whether it be a natural force, right, or whether it be a higher power, created microbial life, for instance, right? Very minuscule life, right? And then we eventually evolved from that, right? Now, obviously, we didn't directly evolve from that, right? It evolved slowly over time into something slightly more complex, and then slightly more complex. And then over time, it becomes something that it basically wasn't before as a result of the genetic mutations, right? Do you consider yourself an agnostic? Yeah, I would say so, at least philosophically. Anyways. Random people preaching their Christianity makes me want to OD in my bathroom. Please don't do that. I don't recommend ODing, all right? Don't OD. But yeah, I don't blame you. Anyways, the universe was created in the battle between Trump's third term and Obama's third term, which will repeat in 2028, creating a new universe. This is true, by the way. Hi, remember me? I asked Lunchables versus Lunchly, dude. You can't go, dude, you gotta get Lunchly in Prime. Dude, you can't go wrong with it. What can I say? That was a joke, Hiiiii, sorry. No, I know, I'm just I'm just talking your real voice. This is my real voice. If you'd like, I could go the extra mile
and talk like this if you want, but this actually requires more effort. But yeah,
how do you determine whether or not a voice is real or fake? Are we basing it off of the intonation? Because by default, somebody uses their voice in an incoherent way that doesn't produce any words or syllables, right? So you could argue that it's not your real voice when you do that, because that's something that you were taught by society, or that you taught yourself, or both, right? Usually it's going to be a combination of the two, right? Anyways. Let's see here. Hi, hello, James Cecil. You're tuning in to the last half hour of the stream. Anyways, we are all curious about opinions about Dean and Parker. I don't know who Dean and Parker are. I'm sorry. Last time you said you can't choose because you've never tried them. Yeah, that was the non-shitpost answer before I even knew what Lunchley was. Anyways. We all just all agree that this world needs a god? No, not really. Like, need according to what standard? Like, a god? Any god? Like, what are we talking about here? Evolution is a process, not an origin, so there has to be some sort of creator. No, but the origin could just be like a, I don't know. Like the I mean, we can trace it back to, I think microbial life. I mean, you could just make an argument for is it possible to create life? I would argue that the answer is yes. Like really, it's just gonna be like life is merely, a result of certain, molecular and chemical structures, being arranged in a certain way, right? You don't necessarily need a creator for that, right? You should debate Charlie Kirk, you would win. I think so too. I don't know, it depends. I think that if it's the case that it's I'm not able to record it on my end, the only way he could conceivably win is if he cuts out all of the good arguments that I made, and then he only clips whatever my weakest point is, and then includes a clip of him yapping in response, and then cuts out my rebuttal to it. Anyways, let's see. Voices are largely habits. A guy had a throat donated, and when he relearned speaking, he sounded like he did before the accident, rather than the person who donated the throat. The throat. Well, wouldn't he have retained his vocal cords, or did he have the other person's vocal cords? Debate Nick Fuentes. That'd be a little bit more difficult to do because, his positions are so absurd that debating I can't really it's a little bit harder to reducto them. It's harder to do a reducto simply because I can't be oh well, you see, this is the logical conclusion, but you would disagree with that, right? You'd be like, no, I agree with this insane position, right? And normally that'd be considered biting a bullet, but because it's consistent with what he actually believes, already, it's a little bit more difficult. He's also more experienced in debate than me. I don't know if I'd beat him, actually. I think I probably would, but I don't know. Actually, I don't know. He's he has more experience than me. He's debated Destiny a lot. I'd argue that Destiny is a better debater than me. It's hard to say. Debate Archie? I don't want it, dude. I don't want it. I mean, if he wants to debate me on some shit, then sure. I would. That guy was kind of a spurg. I'm not gonna lie. Debating stupid people is pointless. It depends on the context, right? If you're doing it for an audience, for entertainment, and to convince an audience, then maybe it's useful, right? Femyoz random question, do you have any pets? Yes, I have a cat named Reese. I don't know where the hell she is, but she's very adorable. The Eastern Orthodox and the Roman Catholic Churches officially condemn homosexuality as a sin. Damn, that's crazy. Unfortunately, Zeno, it appears I do not give a shit. It sounds like those churches are dog shit, you know? It sounds like it's the case that you have inadvertently or not announced which churches are the worst ones, the most illogical ones. You're going to hell. Do you have any evidence of hell existing? Who the hell is Archie? It was basically some Discord debater that me and Lime witnessed get destroyed earlier today. Anyways. What are you before trans in past? What do you mean by that? What do you mean before I was trans? I would argue that I was always trans, I just didn't realize it, but before I was out as trans, I guess I would have been categorized as cis. I would have been categorized as a cis dude rather than a trans woman. Separation from God is hell. Okay, can you explain why it's logical for an all-loving God to condemn somebody to suffer infinitely for their finite actions and how that's proportional to the crime? Do you have any evidence that you're a female? When you say female, what do you mean by that? Like, are you talking like strictly biologically, or are you or are you talking about like socially? Like, what do you mean when you say the term female? Because if you mean biologically, I've never claimed to be a biological female, right? I claim to be a woman, which is a social categorization. So, do you have any evidence that you're... So you reiterating the question doesn't work if you don't clarify what you mean by the question, right? So if I don't know what you mean by the question, then why would I answer it? Like, you have to clarify, right? So if I ask a clarifying question, when you're using a term that you most likely use interchangeably with another term, right? I'm going to want to know what you mean by it specifically, right? So that we know what each other person means, right? Keep moving the goalposts. Wait, when did I move the goalpost? Can you explain the part of the stream where I moved the goalpost? Did you like find the part of that? Like, what did I say that moved the goalpost? I'd like to know. Like, was me saying that I'm not a biological female moving the goalpost? Because I never said that I was a biological female, right? I said that I'm a woman, right? That's not moving the goalpost. That's like been my position the entire time, right? So that's like the opposite of moving the goalpost. Like, moving the goalpost would mean that I'm changing my position throughout the discussion. But I haven't changed my position. My position has remained exactly the fucking same, right? You move the goalpost by saying you're a woman, yet you're not? No, that's not me moving the goalpost, right? I'm saying that I'm a woman and that I am. Like, I didn't say that I'm not a woman, right? I said that I'm not a biological female, right? So it seems to be the case that when we use the term woman, right? The way I use it is different from the way you use it, right? That's not me moving the goalpost. That's just me using words differently. But, like, obviously you're too stupid to understand that, right? Like, you think that if I use a word differently than you, that somehow means I'm moving the goalpost. Like, what are you talking about? Anyways. What are your thoughts on trans women playing in women's sports? I have yet to see evidence that it causes any real or substantial harm, right? It's actually the case that trans women have been able to participate in the Women's Olympics so long as they've been on hormone replacement therapy for at least 2 years, since 2003, right? It's almost 2025, so, you know, it's, yeah, it's been a long time. It's been more than 2 decades. It's been more than 2 decades. You know, surely if it was like a real issue, they would have taken over women's sports by now, right? But they haven't. There's no evidence of this. If there was, conservatives would be fear-mongering over it, right? They'd be like constantly talking about it, right? But you don't see it. You don't see like all of these instances of trans women taking these gold medals or whatever, right? But you would if it was an issue. Biological males should not be playing with women. It's not fair whatsoever. Fair according to what standard? What do you deem to be fair or unfair? They have, though. It's an epidemic. Really? Do you have any evidence of this? How many trans Olympics are there? And how many cis Olympics are there? Like, how many trans women are Olympics? And how many cis women are Olympics? Do you know the proportion? And do you know the proportion of trans people in society? Yes, Google it. Okay, I will. How many trans women are in the Women's Olympics? Okay. All right. Okay, the AI overview might not be correct. It says, out of the trans women that have participated, none of them have won an Olympic medal in the women's category. There's an example of a single trans woman. The first trans woman to compete at the Olympics. She won no medals. Okay? So that's one person, okay? How many women are in the Olympics? Okay. Apparently, in the 2024 Paris Olympics, 5,500, okay? Now, the percentage of the population that's trans is about 1%, more or less, okay? So this is, they're actually proportionately underrepresented, right? So if you tell me to Google it, you should at least know what's going to show up in the results, right? You should know what shows up. Oh, here it says 10,500. Right? So, I mean, that's even worse for your argument. Seems like the AI over you underestimated. So I'm just like a little bit confused. Why would you tell me to look it up when me looking it up proves your point wrong? That's like the dumbest thing you could possibly do. Look further, please. So let me get this straight. You want me to keep looking and looking and looking until I find something that doesn't prove my point correct, and that like maybe you could like possibly interpret as proving your point because it's like some like biased news source, maybe potentially that like overblows whatever. Like I'm a little bit confused. Like you just want me to like look until I find something that agrees with your conclusion? Why would I do that? I know bro is saying he's not confused when you don't even know what gender you are. No. I am very aware of what gender I am, okay? I'm a woman, right? That's the social categorization that I prefer, right? I'd rather be categorized within the feminine archetype in society, right? There's nothing confusing about that, right? Like I don't know what I would be confused about. Like I know exactly what I want. Okay, why is there an account called Little Yos now? Jesus Christ. What is happening? Okay, alright, I see. Chat, why are you guys like this? Why are you all like this? Oh, also, they turned my, choker into this. Into, like, the thingy. Anyways, Lamau, I love this. Why? Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, W pentagram. Real. I'm gonna make one called Sounding Yos. Jesus Christ. Because you were confused? Okay, what am I confused about? You're confused and we're trying to help? Okay, what am I confused about? Could you tell me what I'm confused about? Because I've made it very clear that I'm not confused. Like, just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I'm confused, right? There's a difference. Like, that'd be like if I said that you're confused about my biological sex. You're not. I don't think you're confused about that, right? I think we're on the same page there, actually. I think we agree that I'm born as a biological male. Nobody disagrees with that. Otherwise, I'd just be transitioning from female to female, right? There'd be no transition. I wouldn't be trans. A female is a person. Hold on, wait. Did I say female or woman? I want to be very specific with my terminology. Did I say female? Like biologically? Or like a woman? Socially. There's like an obvious distinction, right? You think you're a woman? Okay. And when I refer to myself as a woman, what do you think I mean by that? You read from Wikipedia and claim that as a fact? Okay, what was in the Wikipedia article that you disagree with? Like, what can you, like, prove it wrong? Like, do you have, like, a counter argument? Do you have, like, a better source? Should I, like, go through all of the sources that were cited in the Wikipedia? Because, like, I mean, I could do that, but that would take hours. I don't know if I would want to do that on stream, because that wouldn't be very good content. A woman is a substitute word for female. I asked you a question, okay? Do you think that you answered the question that I asked you? I want to hear from Jamie specifically. Did you answer the question that I asked you? Hello, Hit Delay. Good to see you again. It's been ages. Saying I haven't seen you in a minute, Lyrios. Yeah. It's been ages. It's been too long. So Jamie, you didn't answer my question. So you don't even remember what the question is, right? And you're pretending to answer the question that you don't even know was asked. You were supposedly going to answer the question. You failed to do so. You said a bunch of unrelated horse shit. And now that I'm asking you if you think you answered the question and what the question was, you're not able to tell me what the question is. So how are you supposed to engage in the discussion? Oh, so now you want me to re-ask the question. Okay, I'll ask it again. When I refer to myself as a woman, what do you think I mean by that? All right, I want like an actual answer. Like I want you to engage in the question, right? You have a vagina? No, I don't have a vagina. I never claimed that. What does it mean to you? Yeah, it simply means that I identify within the feminine archetype in society. Do you disagree with that? I'd like to know from Jamie specifically. Then you're a man? Based on what standard? You think you embody the feminine form and essence? That's not what I said. That's not the definition I gave you. Anyways, here, I want to see Jamie respond. All right, we'll address one person at a time. Okay. Let's see here. Iman Khalif won the title in women's boxing. She was cis. She actually wasn't trans. Nice try. It was actually proven wrong. The people that said she was trans were proven wrong. Okay. Let's see. 80% of the world? Firstly, where are you getting that statistic from? Secondly, even if that's true, that would just be an ad populum fallacy. It used to be the case that greater than 80% of the world thought that slavery was okay or was at least indifferent to it, right? Doesn't mean that it was good or okay, right? If you have a penis, you're a man. Okay, so if I get bottom surgery, then I'm not a man anymore, right? Hold on. Let's see. Did Jamie respond at all? When was the last time Jamie responded? I don't know. Anyways, and maybe they left. Make me mod. If I was gonna make somebody mod, it'd be somebody that's been around for a longer time. That's evil? What's evil? Slavery? I agree that slavery is evil, right? But like if we were to go based on like an ad populum fallacy, then back when it was socially acceptable, it was okay, right? By your logic. That's like an obvious fallacy. Can't have a debate with someone that isn't open to conversation, Lamau. No. I have a conversation. I'm willing to have a conversation. I'm doing that right now. You just don't like the responses I give you, because they prove your dumb fuck claims to be wrong, right? We were having a conversation. I made certain claims. You asked me to substantiate them. I substantiated them, and then you threw a fit because you couldn't refute it, right? Just because you can't refute my claims doesn't mean we're not having a conversation, right? I engaged in the thing that you said, and you're not able to engage back because I proved you wrong, and you got blown the fuck out. I responded. Okay, wait. Let me scroll up. It sounds to me that you prefer to characterize yourself as woman-like. Kind of. You may like the feminine aspect of it again, but again, the woman is still a substitute word for female. Not necessarily. Some people use that way. Biologically, you are male. I don't disagree with being biologically male, right? But in terms of how I want to be socially categorized, you would agree that woman is a social category, right? Like, do you agree that there's like a masculine and feminine category in society? Like there are masculine and feminine archetypes, right? You would agree that there's like two main archetypes, correct? Or you disagree with that? So like one archetype would have like he him pronouns. It would be associated with masculinity, etc. Right? Whereas the other archetype would be associated with she her pronouns, femininity, etc. Right? What is an archetype? I guess like a collection of characteristics. Like what's a good way of defining it? I guess I mean, you could go with a very typical example of, but then that's gonna have exceptions. Like, what's like a good example? Like a social archetype. Look, the fact of the matter is, hold on. Here, let's get something more specific so that I actually have a source. Let's see. So, according to this, unconscious associations and assumptions people carry with them as they interpret history. Social archetypes can define how we understand people, places, events, and even abstract ideas, right? So that'd be like an example. Like a construct that histories and students carry with them as they interpret. Oh, okay. It's the same thing. Right. Can we find any other definitions as well? Just to like sort of reiterate. Because I don't want to, I don't want you to just take my word for it as well. I mean, you could. Like a pattern seen within society, right? We're talking about like a social archetype, right? Right, like you would agree that like we're categorized socially based on two main social archetypes, right? Why are you using a voice changer? I'm not. I don't know why you accuse me of that. I mean,
I can switch between voices.
but no voice changer is required. Look, okay? I'm sitting. I literally can't press anything, okay?
And I go down here and
Up here and
down here.
and up here. I'm just really good at using my voice. What can I say? But with that being said, I responded. Okay. Let me find it. Boo. I do agree that there is masculinity and feminine characteristics that both sides have. However, it involves testosterone levels and voice differences. Like you could argue that that those things are associated, right? But they're not like soul defining characteristics, right? So it's gonna be the case that like say for instance you have she her pronouns, okay, or he him pronouns, right? Those would be in reference to those archetypes, those two archetypes, right? Like you would agree that like the he him pronouns would reference the masculine archetype, and she her pronouns would reference the feminine archetype, right? Like in a social context, like obviously you would have to agree to that. Like you'd be insane not to, right? In which case, we're talking about social archetypes, right? Like you would agree that like say for instance he him and she her are gendered terms, right? Based on the basis of those archetypes, right? Also, Little Yos is not accurate. Shut up. I don't type like that, okay? So you believe you're a woman? Yeah. Yeah, on the basis of the way that the word is defined, at least the way that I define it, yeah. What do you fundamentally care about those archetype traditions? What I care about is the way that I'm categorized in society, right? So it's gonna be the case that like whether I like it or not, there's gonna be certain social social elements and expectations and categorizations that are going to be prevalent whether you like it or not, right? So like again, like something like he him pronouns or she her pronouns, right? Like those are literally just social categorizations, right? And people with those in those categories are also going to have certain expectations, right? That's only part of it, okay? It's also going to be the case that gender dysphoria, which is, you know, which I would argue is really an incongruence between the brain and the body. I think that sex dysphoria would be like a better description, but maybe that's just me. I guess like gender sex dysphoria, either way works, I guess. Let's see. Where was I going with this? It's gonna be the case that like you're gonna associate certain things with like a certain like with certain sex characteristics, right? So in order to minimize dysphoria, right, you would want to both physically have the characteristics of the gender, or sorry, of like the sex that you're trying to like visually emulate, right? And you would want to be socially categorized as that gender, right, in order to minimize dysphoria. Like this is just like so what confuses me is that you claim to be a woman, but what is that? Yeah, somebody that identifies within the feminine archetype in society. To me, it sounds like you have feminine traits that females have. No, I didn't say you have to have traits. I said that you identify within the feminine archetype in society, right? That's like the only prerequisite, right? There's no specific traits you have to have. You're misunderstanding my point. I never said that there were specific traits you have to have, right? I'm of the belief, and maybe you could make like an argument of like about like brain structures and whatnot. But I would argue that like on the basis of like whether or not somebody like identifies a certain way, you can usually inductively reason whether or not they're doing so in good faith, right? So if it's the case that somebody says that they're transgender, that they use she her pronouns, right? It's like it's generally going to be the case that they're operating in good faith, And you can inductively reason that they're telling you the truth. If it's the case that Steven Crowder is doing it for a bit, and it's obvious that they're doing it for a bit, and they're not actually transgender, and they're just trying to make trans people look bad or whatever, you can inductively reason that they're not being honest, right? Because you know that they're not an honest actor, right? And that they're doing it with some other motivation, right? What then causes the gender envy that causes dysphoria? Well, dysphoria isn't necessarily caused by gender envy. So what is a woman? I literally just described that like 5 seconds ago. What do you mean, what is a woman? I literally just said someone that identifies within the feminine archetype in society. Now, maybe you weren't paying attention. Maybe you like your headphones like stopped working for a second. But like I've given you the definition like 5 times now. Gender dysphoria doesn't exist. What? So you just disagree with the entire scientific consensus? Okay. Identified how? Through oneself, right? Like I would identify myself. Like I would identify within the feminine archetype in society. That's the way I'd want to be treated. That's the way I want to be categorized, right? That's the social sort of role I would like to fulfill, right? Like you do realize that the archetypes we've created in society for men and women, like they're entirely like a social fiction. Because it's entirely made up. Can I have a kind debate with you, Femyoz, for a moment? I don't know. It's getting late. Maybe tomorrow. Let's see. But what is a woman, right? Are you, like, is this like a joke? You're saying you wanted to be treated like a woman? That's not the definition I gave you. Can you repeat that the definition I gave you? Because I'm not gonna continue engaging with you until you can repeat the definition that I gave you like 6 times. They're trolling. They could be. I don't know. Here's the thing: is some people are genuinely just stupid. Anyways, Femi is EP. I am EP. Well, I don't know. Yeah, they're circling. Yeah. Let's see here. You think it's okay to change in the women's locker room? It's is it okay to expose your penis to women without consent? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't care, but me personally, I wouldn't do that. I would just be uncomfortable. I think that most trans women would be on like the same boat of like not wanting to change in front of other people unless they've gotten bottom surgery, right? Like I would just change in the stall. Like that's what I did in the men's locker room as well. So yeah, I don't know. Like I don't think that there's anything like intrinsically scary about a penis. Like I'm gonna be real. Like I just don't care. Right? Bro really calling me a transphobe because science doesn't fall into their beliefs? What is the scientific argument against trans people? Also, I don't think I ever called you that, right? Like maybe you're responding to like the voices inside of your head, but me personally, that's not the claim I made, right? Now I could make an argument for it. I could make that claim and be correct, but that wasn't the argument. Would you like to engage in the argument I made? Woman is a female human. Why? Like based on what standard? Why does that serve the most utility? Right? Because we define things based on what serves utility, right? On the basis of the way we use words in a way that's useful. At least that's what we ought to do, right? Are you the guy that bullied Ablaze? Who is that? Is that like a random on like a political debate server or something? In which case, probably. What made you trans? Not trying to be mean. Probably dysphoria, to be honest. Most likely hormone washing that occurred within the womb. I'm so invested in this. You're making great points. Thank you, Mel. I appreciate that. A woman is a female human. Yeah, but like, why? You've said that like before, right? You repeating the same dumb fuck claim isn't going to do you any favors, right? You have to actually engage with my response. Josh, do you remember what my response was? Could you like repeat it? If not, I could repeat it for you. If you like weren't paying attention. Are you on HRT? You better believe I am. What is it like being gay? It's awesome. You get to have lots of gay sex. When changing in the men's locker room, I feel uncomfortable, as if I don't belong. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly, because we don't belong in there, right? I would feel unsafe changing in the men's locker room. I would argue that like as like a safety precaution, if nothing else, that like as a trans woman, if you haven't gotten bottom surgery, you probably should just change in the stall in the women's, but that's what I believe. Do you have or plan on having surgery? Nah. Say that the definition one more time and ask yourself if it makes sense. Oh, it does make sense, yeah. But like, could you repeat it? So you haven't repeated it, right? So I'm not gonna engage with you if you don't even know what the definition is. Like you're supposedly arguing against definition that you don't even remember. Like if you disagree with my definition, then you have to know what the definition is before you disagree with it. You can't just disagree with something you don't understand. If just because you just say you don't understand the definition. Okay, but you are okay making women feel unsafe? How? By changing in the stall? How would that make them unsafe? Like what? Like, am I like some like 5'6" trans woman gonna be like a threat to them? As I go into the locker room to change into the stall where no one's going to see anything? Because like, I'm more scared of them than they are of me. Like, I would just be more scared of, I don't know, going in the men's locker room where I don't belong. I would feel fucking weird as hell. Like, that would be like actually scary. I don't want to get assaulted, right? Go to Google and type what is the definition of a woman. Yeah, so what this fails to account for is the fact that we define words based on the way that we use them, not the other way around, right? That's why the meaning of words changes over time. And we change words based on what serves the most utility, right? At least we ought to, right? I'm not making a descriptive claim about the way that some people use words, right? I'm making a prescriptive claim about the way we ought to use words. Language is prescriptive, right? We didn't find them in the fucking wild. We didn't find them in nature, right? There's no series of syllables that ontologically means one thing and not another, right? Not to mention the fact that it literally has multiple definitions, right? So like if you look it up, right? 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 Like if you look here, like there's like a, like yeah, you can just like take one, right? That'd be one definition, right? Like one of them is a person with the qualities traditionally associated with females. That's another one. That's close to my definition that I use in the context of, again, part of it is going to be contextual, right? Part of it is going to be contextual, right? But in the context that I'm saying it in, this is, according to the Oxford Dictionary, a valid definition, right? A person with the qualities traditionally associated with females. This doesn't help your argument, right? There's a reason that there's more than one definition, because the way that words are used can vary from person to person. Thank you, Patel Crafter, for the 10. You beautiful fucking bastard saying little Yos. Shut up, I'm not a little, but thank you regardless. Well, hold up, you said to me, came up to me, stating your definition, but I can't ask you to look up the actual definition. I literally just did. It says similar, not exact. No. This is where the synonyms are. So either it'll say synonyms or similar. I think it says similar in most cases. So that's for words that are similar to it, okay? So like girlfriend, girl, partner in the context of a person's wife, girlfriend, or female lover, okay? Or like here's like similar words. It's not saying that the definition is similar. You know, if you actually knew how to fucking read, you would know that. So it's saying that these words are similar, not that the definitions are similar. These are the actual definitions. And then whenever there's words that are similar under any given definition, right, that means that the words are similar, not that the definition below it is similar. You fucking idiot. Learn how to read from left to right. You go left to right and then down. Fucking moron. Like, why would the similar be in front of the words and not the next definition? It doesn't make any sense. Anyways. Right, so there's synonyms for many words, but when we ask for the specific definition, there's not one specific definition. There's multiple definitions. Like, what are you talking about? When I gave the definition, I'm giving the definition that I use given the context. That's what I did. That doesn't mean that that is the one true ontologically correct definition, right? That's just on the basis of what serves the most utility, right? I define it based on utility, right? Anyways. If we're going to go based on the definitions provided in the Oxford Dictionary, this would support my argument, right? Now, I like my definition more because it's more specific. It's more specific than this, right? I don't think that you, and I also don't believe that you necessarily need the qualities traditionally associated with females, right? That would mean that it's like a qualifying statement, and I don't necessarily believe that, right? I don't think that that serves the most utility. I think it's a more useful definition to not have it be that way, right? Your definition requires nothing but a belief. A belief in what? What are you talking about? What do you think a definition refers to? How do you think the definitions are determined? Aside from the usage of the word itself. You could be trans, but you will never be a biological woman? Yeah, you mean I'm not going to be biologically female? Yeah, no shit. Literally, when did I say that I was a biological female? Delusion? Delusion, Josh. What's my false belief? That I'm a woman? Well, what am I... Again, we can go circle back to this question. What do I mean when I refer to myself as a woman? Right? And you could rewind the VOD and see the part of the VOD where I ask that same question, address it, explain that I'm clearly using the word differently than you. Right? You're not a female/woman? Okay. When I refer to myself as a woman, what do you think I mean by that? You're not answering the question. If I asked you what a toothbrush is, are you going to associate it with synonyms or based off the definition? Wait, hold on. What? Hold on. Did I read the synonyms of woman or did I read a definition? I was saying that where it says similar, it said it was in front of these words, these synonyms or words that are similar. Okay. When I read the definition, this is not a synonym. This is a definition. I don't know if you know what a definition is. Maybe you were hit on the head as a child. So you think that a synonym and a definition are exactly the same thing. Anyways, with that being said, I'm bored now. This is lame. Yeah, the retards are getting restless. I don't know. I thought it was fun. I think I won. No diff. Easily. Me versus retarded chatters that are anti-trans. Who knows? Maybe we'll do some call-in debates soon. I think I'm, yeah, GG, no re. You 100% won? Hell yeah. Stop making bottom noises when you stretch. Dude, I think this was entertaining. Sometimes it's good to fight the trolls, but yeah, not good to give them too much airtime. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they become the content. Really one? Exactly. Delusion one? Yeah, you haven't established what my false belief is, right? Illusion means a false belief. Good stream? Hell yeah. This was pretty fun? Hell yeah. Got repetitive though? Yeah, once it gets... This is why I stopped doing debate a while ago. It's because it gets repetitive. But, you know, every once in a while it's good. And, you know, if I practice with good debaters, then it can be really fun. And, yeah, I'm starting to, like, enter the debate community kind of on Discord. I should have been born without arms. I think I'll cut them off. Okay, do it. Prove it. Put your money where your mouth is. Okay. Debating transphobes seems exhausting. It's not exhausting at all. It's like one of the easiest things imaginable. You should debate the age of consent with Sneeko. I should. Cut down on debating dumb chatters. It's low-key exhausting to listen to the circular logic. We might do a VC in the server. I kind of want to watch the stream. Anyways. You know what? Sure, I could do that. Everyone should subscribe, by the way. Don't you love debating your own existence, SMH? I just like debating in general. I think it's fun. It's easy when you take out biology, basic definitions, and common sense. Biology. When did I make an anti-biological claim? Like a claim antithetical to biology? Basic definitions? I provided a basic definition. Like it was, you can find it even in the Oxford Dictionary. One of the definitions is similar to mine, right? And then lastly, you asserted common sense. Okay, well, common sense is relativistic, so that doesn't mean anything. What do you mean by common sense? Okay. Your basic definition was using synonyms? I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? Is this a synonym to you? Is this complete sentence a synonym? This isn't a synonym, right? You see where it says similar and then like a bunch of words? Those are synonyms, okay? Like these are individual words, okay? This right here isn't a synonym. This is a definition. Okay? See this? This isn't a... Where does it say synonym? What about this is synonym? What's the synonym? Like, do you think that an entire sentence is a synonym? A synonym is similar to a word, not exact. A definition is explaining a word specifically. Oh, so you mean like, for example, this sentence right here that explains the word exactly. Okay. Like, what are you talking about? Okay, anyways. It's only there to make you feel normal, or else you will cry to Oxford for them to change it. That's not how they determine definitions.